Hello, everybody, and happy Wednesday here. Having a lot of fun. We just jumped in. We've been having a little chatting ahead of time, Marquese and I. Thank you guys for joining us today. We're just gonna have some good conversation about what's going on. We're both kindred spirits. Been in this world for a while, on this journey for a while, helping a lot of people, and thought it'd be fun to come on and have a conversation and kind of talk about the things we're doing in the world, our perspective of what's going on, things we're seeing in the world around us, the challenges our clients are having, the challenges we're going through in our own life, and the places where we're stretching and growing, and talk about some of the things that we're doing, some projects and stuff like that. And our goal is to have a good conversation and to lean into providing some value to everybody through that talk. So thank you guys for joining us, and hope this brings you some good value and some good laughs.
Yeah.
Welcome, brother. So good to see you, my friend.
So good to connect. So good to connect. We got to give the quick history, man. Way back in the T. Harv Eker days.
Yeah. It's been back. What year was that? I mean, we're talking.
I want to say.
Is that like? See if you come with the same number as me.
11.
I think it's even earlier. I think it's earlier.
9, maybe.
I think we might be 8, 9 at least.
Yeah, 8, 9.
Yeah.
8 or 9.
Wow.
And, I remember it was great. A lot of great souls. As a matter of fact, we're still connected with a lot of them to this day.
Yeah.
Still got guys we call and connect with, because it was like a space of like hungry people. That's what I remember. I remember I had no clue what I was stepping into. My mom's like, "You're coming. It's the best place for you." and it turned out to be mind-blowing and great relationship. I remember seeing this smooth guy, suited and booted, as we like to say, just connecting and organizing this team and talking about this vision that he had. I had my vision, but I got around him. He was just super magnetic. And I was like, I want to know this guy. And before I really even reached out to know him, he reached out and spoke to me. And that's you, my friend.
Oh, thank you, brother. Felt the same way. Isn't it interesting how there's like some people you meet in life, and it's like, I knew, like, the minute I saw you, it's like, I already felt like I'd known you 20 years.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've known you since like I was a kid. Like I literally feel like we've known each other forever, We've always stayed connected. We haven't shared a whole lot of space in space.
Right.
But the crazy thing is, like, we've been parallel on this journey, and it's like not many people also continue on, right?
Yeah.
Like I've watched so many people fall off, and it's like, we're still here doing this and we're not going anywhere.
No chance, man. That internal desire and passion, one, to grow, but to really see others expand. As a matter of fact, how would you, because my people are going to watch as well, how would you describe, who are you?
That's a great question. What's amazing is that has changed and has evolved a lot over the past couple of years. So, as in a title, I'll give the title first because that's a short story, and I'll give you the backstory, which is a little bit longer. So as a title, it's gone from, it's funny, I always say everybody comes to me through a different doorway. Sometimes it's a counselor, it's a coach, it's a this, it's a that, business coach, life coach, therapist. For me anymore, I consider myself a peak performance coach, because my main thing is it makes it simple to understand. I want to help you in every area of life get to your peak. And it's different for everybody, right? But in career, relationships, health and fitness, spirituality, personal growth, hobbies, I want you to be at your peak. I want you to build a whole life approach where it's holistic, it's harmonized, and you're seeing consistent growth. That's kind of like the front end marketing side, right?
Yeah.
But for me, I feel like I've become like and I don't want to say this wrong, I become a guide that guide people to healing. Because so many of the things I'm doing now with shamanic work and with breath work and meditation and things, and even like, most of my clients are all my clients are all high performing executives. They're running huge companies, doing really well, very successful, but they don't feel fulfilled. They feel like they're lost and empty. And so they come to me and I say, what would make this relationship successful? Like, Brett, I'd like to have another 10 million in the bank, or another 5 million in the bank, or scale my company 2 or 3x. And within 4 or 6 weeks of working together, they realize it's all about inside here. It changes. It's about the impact you're making in the world. It's about your spiritual growth. It's about what you're doing for your family and your community. And so I like to guide people to understanding a higher purpose. And that's the higher purpose that's individual for each person. But what's going to really drive you every day, inspire you, And so I think that's really where it's become. Like I like to guide people to their healing and to their advancement in life, to fulfillment.
It's really cool. I like that, man. That is a very noble life, and only from the angle of the research tells us that 95 or only 15% of people are aware of who they are, their personal brand, why they do what they do, their values,
Yeah.
and only 5% live it, which means the overwhelming majority of us have no clue. We're just functioning in roles, in titles, after money or things as a means of trying to create identity within us. But then you show up and you guide them as if it's in the direction of more that they're looking for, to discover that the wealth and the abundance is all inside of them. I love you for that. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. Thank you for the work you do, man. That's huge, because most of us have no clue.
Thank you, my friend. Well, it's you and I were kind of talking about this. It's interesting. I think, a couple of big things I've really leaned into myself on the journey, and also sharing with my clients. Because again, it's like you do the same thing. We go out.
One of us is frozen. I don't
know.
know.
One of the things I've really learned is learning to surrender and learning how to get into flow. And like anytime you're forcing, you're not going the right direction. Life really happens for you. It's either, that relationship.
One of us is freezing, brother. Is it me or is it you?
Down the road. And when you embrace it.
Can you repeat that, Brett?
Yeah, for sure.
Life is not happening.
Yeah,
go ahead.
For you. Yeah, like sometimes a relationship doesn't happen because it's not the right person. You're going to learn something from that, and there's something better down the road, or the career opportunity. And it's like, we get all upset, but the thing is, there's all.
Uh-oh. One of us is frozen. And one of us is frozen. I missed you for the last 15 seconds. Am I frozen? The timer's still going. It tells me I'm good, but I'm not sure. One of us is frozen.
I'm seeing you now. I think we're going back and forth.
Oh, man. Okay. Repeat that latter part, because I missed you for like 20 seconds.
That's okay. Do you have me clear now?
You're still, I hear you clear. Your screen is a little fuzzy. Is mine fuzzy?
Okay. No, you're perfect on my end.
Okay. Maybe it's me. Go for it. It's worth it.
That's all right. We're going to repeat it. But so it's the most important thing, I think. It's, in life too often we think that we're cursed or things are going wrong. We're making mistakes.
Yeah.
Everything is happening for you and for a reason. And so whether it's a relationship or a career opportunity, when it comes up and it doesn't work the way you want, lean into it, learn from it, because the thing is something better will come down the road. Don't get impatient and think it's supposed to come the next day or the next week. Sometimes it doesn't happen for a year or years. I have so many things that happened years ago. I look back now and go, thank you, God, for skipping that and showing me, not having me go down that road and wait for this opportunity. And so when you surrender, then you start to realize, all right, number one, everybody talks about being present. When you surrender, you become present. You actually stop hurrying and rushing and forcing life. And you step into the moment. You go, you know what? All right, this just happened. Let me observe myself. I'm frustrated. I'm hurt. I'm sad. Let me learn from this, because that's what it is. I think that God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, has given us this amazing mechanism that when something happens in you, you get an emotion that says, hey, there's something to learn here. I'm trying to give you a signal to do something differently. And so you take that knowledge, you grow, and then all of a sudden that growth leads to the other opportunity. But if something happens, you don't get that career opportunity you want, and you get really angry and you go frustrated around, you pulled yourself off path, you missed the learning, and now you're going to miss the opportunity down the road that's supposed to be waiting for you. When you surrender, you become present and you're aware to it, and you grow, and then you go.
It's good, man. When you surrender, you become present to it, you go, and then you grow. In listening to you, it makes me think about, as we were talking a little bit before, about the journey, right? Things happening along the journey. You have the clarity of what's supposed to happen, or what you think is supposed to happen. And then life does all sorts of zigzags, right? It's almost as if we've all seen that success isn't like this. It's more like this, that we forget it's like this when we're going through it. But I like that you mentioned the importance of surrendering, because I remember a time in my life when I wouldn't surrender. I would just be upset and frustrated. And something happened in my spirit, or maybe in a conversation with my father, I don't remember. But I learned that when I was in the angry, frustrated, depressed, lack state, that it would shut down my ability to hear. I couldn't
Oh
hear
yeah.
clearly. My spirit, my heart would close. And I learned somehow intuitively, I don't know, that whenever my heart would be closed or my breath would be shortened, I would not be present and therefore miss the opportunity that was right there in front of me for the next step and or the lesson that would then comfort me, right? Right
Yeah.
now, I'm learning about that part I've got. What I'm learning now is, wow, the emotions do inform one way or the other. And I've learned that they are informed by thoughts, by the ethos. And so I have to learn, as you teach a lot about breath. Of course, I love Wim Hof, but I'm learning to just to breathe, to get back present. So I shut down the voices, and then I can sort through my emotions so I can hear clearly. And when I'm able to do that, it's all of a sudden like, oh, I can see how this is helping me connect the dot to there, even though I don't fully understand how it's going to happen. But because I can see it, oh, just keep riding the wave. It's okay. It's a very interesting journey, the evolution of knowing how to navigate. But I love that you said, if we stay in the anger or the resentment, anything other than surrendering, then we might miss what's present.
Yeah. It's an elegant balance, right? I call it a dance. It's a dance between staying like if you think about somebody that's like, if you're like a really like a popular or an expert person that does high rise, like walking on a tightrope, right? If they want to get better at doing that, you raise the rope that increases the stress and you put more things in yourself to try to balance. But it's still always a balance. It never stops. It's an elegant dance of that tightrope. And like, I think it's amusing because like, so we're on earth here in this body.
Yeah.
And I think we all know that there's more than just this body. No matter what anybody believes or thinks, that there's this body and there's more things going on. This is our spacesuit. Like if you and I go up into space right now, we got to put on a certain suit.
That's right.
To live in that kind of environment. Totally different set of dynamics and physics and etc. And so we get confused and think that everything is the spacesuit. And then what happens is we don't step back and observe what's going on with the suit. So if the guys in space were just freaking out about the suit and didn't think about their own psychological, you're going to have a lot of problems.
Yeah.
And so you have to be able to say, it's okay to feel the way I feel.
Yeah.
Let me observe it. Let me calibrate my system and move forward. But again, if you're up there and you're just paying attention to the suit, you're going to have a lot of problems. That's going to be it's life or death like it is down here. And so you got to be able to say, this is just a suit right now. Yeah. And I need to understand there's an observer of that suit.
Yeah.
And that's the person that needs to become aware of what's going on in this. I'm feeling this. I'm thinking this. And that's okay. How is that thing adjusting me, helping me, and calibrating me, right?
Yeah. It as you're talking about that, it reminds me, I was listening, I don't know, it was an Instagram flicking one day, and a guy, Dr. Miles Monroe, he got on and he was talking about, for any of you who may know the story in the Bible, basically there's a story of Joseph. He was the youngest of his brothers, and the youngest basically got nothing. He had a dream that one day he was going to lead his family into future success. He went and told his dad. His dad's like, wow, that's interesting. But if God said it, okay, great. His brothers were like, yeah, whatever. And shortly thereafter, his brothers were envious. Like, who does he think he is? And they threw him in a pit, as the story goes.
Yep.
And so Dr. Miles Monroe said he can imagine Joseph thinking to himself, wow, God gave me a dream and a vision that I will be leading my family one day, but I'm in a pit. This didn't look like the dream. So Dr. Miles Monroe said, the lesson there is, if what you see, the pit around him, is not what you saw in your mind's eye or the vision, then it's just temporary. Because as the story goes, later on, he actually did lead his family.
Yeah.
But the point was, the point that really resonated with my heart was, hey, man, it's okay to feel what you feel. And also know what you feel is temporary. It's all good.
Yep.
So that awareness of like, being present. Why do I feel what I feel? Oh, am I feeling it because I'm not focused? I'm not present? Am I waiting off or falling off into past fears, past trauma that have not been resolved? Oh,
exactly.
For me, I'm learning that I need to solve those past traumas and or fears and strengthen myself, because the future version of me, the things I'm working on now that are like in the very near future, that version of me can't help this version. It will cause it to fall, to make unnecessary mistakes, to potentially cause harm to someone else even. So it's really beautiful that I'm experiencing these things because I get to be present. Why am I feeling anxiety? Why am I feeling anger or sadness? What is informing that? And is it even true? And if it was true, then what does that mean? You know the journey.
Yeah, man, that's good. Like, I think this is something good too to share with everybody, because this is really an important point you made. Going back to him being in the pit, a couple things. Playing off of surrender. We'll talk about surrender and discipline for a minute. It gets you could say surrender, you can say faith, you can say discipline, persistence. But the thing is, when something happens in life that isn't going the way we want, all of a sudden we lose faith in the plan. And the thing is, as you know, nothing ever goes as you expect. Like, somebody's gonna I've got this idea, I'm gonna build this business, like I'm gonna make Apple computers. Oh, it wasn't just like boom, 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 here's Apple computers. It's failure after disappointment, after setback over and over. And the thing is, but the faith that has to come in life is believing that calling, that vision is gonna happen regardless of what's showing up in your life. You have to fall in the pit and say, this is a step on the journey. This is a reason this happened, not let me go back now, let me change my whole plan. I find that with so many people, they set a goal. The minute the goal isn't going the way they want, which it usually never does, they give up. They want to adjust the plan. They start doubting or fearing. And that throws you off. And so one of the things I really work on with my, my clients and everybody, I do this in my own life, is making a vision. There's two parts of it. You have to have the vision, like where you're going, the calling, the plan. And then having, this is where the peak performance comes in. Then showing up every day as the best version of yourself. So that you don't, and you said something a minute ago that I'd love to talk about, which is, I always say, have you ever been so angry that you say, man, I'm so ticked off, let me sit down and make a business plan, right? Or I'm so sad right now, let me go out and hang out with my friends. No, you'd never take that version of yourself. I would never let the angry Brett run my business. I'd never let the sad Brett go out on a date. So it's like, but we do it all the time. Like, I'm ticked off, I'm going to go into business, I'm going to work. It's like, no, man, you got to sit back and get back into that peak self. Get back to, this is not the version of you that should be making decisions. That's the version that should be going out each day and doing these things. So you got to get past that. And the way you do it is having daily routines and daily principles, disciplines that help you know how to show up. So did you say, I feel off? Did I meditate today? Did I do a breath work today? Did I, did I exercise today? Did I do some positive reading and feed my brain with something that's inspiring me? Because if you're not, you're running the same routine, you're getting caught off guard, you're off track with something. And next thing you know, I would say, like, you want to grow up like a tree, like a trunk, you're off on a branch. You're taking yourself someplace, and you're going to have to come back because you're on a.
So there's that alarm that we're all getting everywhere. Let's see if I can turn mine down. Okay. I think it's off. Did yours go off? The national alarm? I can't hear you now, though. I know you're there. Let me see. I lost you in audio. I'm still here. Can you hear me okay? You can't hear me either. Interesting. What happened? I wonder if they halted it for just a second with that. I'll log out and come right back in. Yeah, I'll log out and come back in just to check here. Be right back. Can you hear me now? Let's see here. Audio. Where did you go, my friend? I can hear audio, but I don't hear you. Man, we have so much good stuff to share. I don't know where you went audibly. I don't hear you. My system, I tested it. It said it worked. Headset. I'll find a headset. So I know you can hear me, right? Okay, so here's what I want to give you. Then I'm gonna get my headset. I'm gonna grab my headset, but I want to leave you with this word: HALT. HALT. If you're hungry, angry, lonely, or tired, halt before you make any decisions. Oh, you can't hear it? Okay, I'm gonna go find a headset. All right, let's see if I can get it switched. How about now? No. Oh. Okay, I tested everything, but I don't hear you. How about now? No? Oh man, everything on my end, I tested. Let's see here. How about people out live tell us if they can hear us or not? I think we're sharing a lot of goodness, and as a result of that, technology is fighting with us. Do you think we should disconnect and come back in? Maybe we should. Let's do that. We try it. But it's a great session. I want to come back. I want to finish it, man. I'll try once again, but everything on my end says that it's working. But yeah, I don't hear you though. I don't hear you. No. Check the chat. In the chat, I don't hear you. Okay. Sounds good. Let's do it. Let's go and come back.